Hello, and welcome to Dream Chasers Live, a women's roundtable discussion. Um, this show is dedicated to Black women everywhere, and I'm so excited to be doing this with some of my friends and podcasters. So I was prompted into this because I saw a post, an article that was written on something Iyanla Van Zant had said. And she said that we are out of order and we still have a lot of work to do. And it made me say, well, I want to get my ladies together and have them talk about this and some other things. And so I kind of landed on, do we hate each other? Because part of what she said sort of struck me as off also. So I am going to run the intro and then we are going to get into it. And I will introduce the panel to you guys and we will have our discussion. Okay, I hope you like that. I did spend a few minutes putting that together. All right, so let us begin. I want to introduce or reintroduce because if you saw What the Fuck America, then you know her. I want to introduce Fallon Hamilton, Esquire, aka at Notorious underscore Foul, one half of A Tribe Called Manifest, and an esteemed author and poetess. What's up, Fallon? Now I want you guys to meet Miss Paula, an entrepreneur, writer, and mother, and my favorite, Georgia Peach, the creator of I Love Me Baby. Welcome, Miss Paula. I see you're back with us. Maybe. Okay, Miss Paula is there. Sort of. Miss Paula.
I'm having a little bit of problem with saying.
Okay, you want me to take you down and you come back? Or are you good? Okay. All right, so
I'm here, but I'm hear you clearly.
okay, all right, that's fine. All right, so we've got KaTia Goudeau, one half of the Goudeaus, an entrepreneurial, excuse me, I can't talk, power couple, as well as your favorite bartender at Good Drinks. My girl KaTia, how you doing?
Hi.
Okay, and Monroe Bishop, a podcast queen, tea spiller, an entrepreneur, always telling the truth in the media game. Monroe,
What's
welcome.
up? What's up?
Miss Paula done jumped off on us. It's all right. She's gonna be back. How y'all doing? Fallon, I didn't give you a chance to respond, hon.
Yes, I'm good. How was everybody tonight?
I'm good. Y'all good?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Okay. So first, I want to tell y'all thank you for everybody being here and taking the time out to come and just have a discussion on this. Um, I know we probably all have experienced some level of contention among Black women, so I feel like this is a good time to get into it. So let me ask the first question. Let me see if I can bring Miss Paula back. I don't know if she's ready, but I'm gonna try it. Um, so do y'all think that we hate each other?
Who you want the story time? I got a lot to say about that topic.
Whoever. Fallon, go ahead. You start.
Do we hate each other? One, no. Two, who has enough time to even think about hate as a grown person right now? And three, no, we don't hate each other.
Agreed. I mean, I feel like, of course, we don't hate each other. But I guess the thing is that um, when you see us not getting along, you wonder why. And I don't think it's so much as we grow older, but I know growing up, there probably was a lot more of that. So does anybody else have anything to add to the first question, like whether or not we have issue or hate each other? You're muted, baby.
Okay. I don't think we hate each other. I just think we don't understand one another. I just think there's a gap somewhere between the playground and adulthood. It's some sort of gap. I always feel like it starts at childhood.
I can agree
I
with
agree
that.
with that.
Absolutely. So what has y'all's experience been with Black women, or maybe like feeling like there's some competition there? Have y'all had any experiences like that?
I definitely feel like people aren't saying like, hey, I'm competing with you, but there's some type of secret underlining competition that goes on between Black women. And like she says, we don't necessarily know the reason, but it could be status, it could be because of men, it can be because of college degrees, just the different things that separate us causes us to secretly compete with each other, I feel.
Definitely. I think some of it is, I think that's what you said, what, like, we don't really understand each other. But I think part of it is not understanding yourself before you kind of get to that point of where you are able to know who you are. You will absolutely be out here projecting on others, like,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes off as hatred, and it's not. And if it is, it's self-hatred. I think that's seeping through more than a hatred of somebody else. Because I think if we all could recognize that we're all beautiful stars in our own right, like, I love all of y'all. I think all of y'all are beautiful and fabulous, and I wouldn't want it any other way. But I think sometimes the competition comes from just not being able to see yourself as beautiful. So, like, do y'all think that there's like something we might do for little girls that will help them to move out of that?
I agree with what you said because I just feel like sometimes women can't feel like they can't coexist beautifully in the same space. It's like she said, it's always an underlying competition with stuff. And what I've learned and experienced for me is that the competition comes with friendship, like competing for friends. Like they got this whole movement now where you can't have more than one friend, and if you're a friend with one person and you don't invite this person, and it's just a mess. It's just really a mess. And I just find that when I went to this party and I took my granddaughter, she went into the room and she went in and she spoke to the other little girls. The first thing they did was look at her up and down. And the parent had to ask her, had to, well, y'all welcome Taylor in. Y'all say hello. So I just think these things aren't taught to us to be friendly, to be receptive. I mean, that is too, I mean, she's 5. She's going to be 5. And I think the age range was between 4 and maybe 7. But I think that's too young for little girls to be looking each other up and down, assessing the competition, and before, just being welcoming. And I think it's a taught thing. We should teach our young daughters how to be friends, how to accept and receive and cultivate relationships with women, not just with men.
See, and when I look at like my friendships and everything, I don't see too much competition with me. Maybe growing up, just elementary school, middle school, it was kind of like the have and have not type of thing. Like, okay, maybe some people were jealous because they didn't have the best clothes, they didn't have the best XYZ. But I can't really think of just any situations like in adulthood where it's been just like a spirit of competition. Now, I've seen situations where people have tried to pit women against each other and kind of make it be some type of static, but I just generically, I guess I don't know if I don't operate in those type of spaces, or I try to deal with people who are like equally yoked with what I'm doing, or I just am so oblivious to what other people got going on that I just don't care what they doing, as long as it's not affecting my money or my situations or whatever. But that's so weird to me, like little girls doing that.
Right.
I would say, because I'm a bartender, I've definitely dealt with that type of competition in the workplace, because it is mostly women waitresses, and in that type of environment, I usually will try to stay away from trying to make friends, but sometimes you end up making friends. But I definitely experienced a lot working at the bars, dealing with other women, and I guess in their case, they would kind of be competing for the money or competing for the men there. But I would just be there to make the money and not necessarily want the men. So it would cause issues in the workplace just because they feel like I'm stepping on their toes, or they feel like I'm taking their customers, or well, really, I'm just trying to serve and make some money. We can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
He like you was saying so good.
I was just saying that I think sometimes it does have to do with men, but it like men don't even have to be in the vicinity.
Correct.
So it's like you trying to outshine me thing. And
In
it's
front of
like
these invisible people who don't
in
even
front
exist.
in front of these people who are not even comparing us at all. Because I can never be like you and you can never be like me, first of all. So let's
It got to
start
be
there.
some insecurity. It has to be,
I
because I just
It is. It is. So I mean, I think people try to say, it has a lot to do with attention or men, but it's an inherent thing, I think. And for them to be so little, the little girls like you're talking about, it almost has to be I'm insecure.
Yeah.
So whatever those little children are going through, if they see somebody else cute or fun or exciting, they naturally are like, I want to dampen you.
Yeah.
And I think that is so weird because
So you don't think those behaviors are taught? That's like
I
they're emulating. They're emulating, because I know for me, I emulated how I dealt with women based on how I saw my grandmother deal with women in the church. My mother watching her friendships and not trusting women, for whatever reason. So I think it's a part of emulating what they see as well. I think.
Yeah, I could see if somebody is they insecure mama, or they insecure aunties, or they insecure anybody, and just kind of figuring that they have to look at people sideways or something. But that's still like, okay, but your mama's insecure. You mimicking somebody who is not sure of themselves, and that's like making you feel like you're not sure of yourself. So definitely see that being the reason the little girls was acting that way.
And I think a lot of it too could be sometimes moms compete with daughters, which is really weird to me also because I never experienced that, but I know some people have because I can't imagine like I know the relationship I have with my mom, like she just texts me, she's like, did you ever check on your auto warranty? So like we don't have like drama, but I know sometimes women do compete with their daughters and will not encourage them or not make sure that they feel beautiful or loved based on some weird energy in the house. So, what do y'all think about that?
That's one thing, or they may not be competing with them, but they just don't know how to show them that because they don't have it within themselves. But I do know that some mothers do compete with their daughters, which is extremely unhealthy. That's ridiculous. That you think that your daughter, what are you competing for? Like, what the hell? I was listening to something where I think I was Demi Moore or somebody. I wrote a book or something. I think it was her. Said something about her mother competed with her with men and put her out there with other men for whatever reason. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, and you got some mothers like they say, "Oh, your daughter's so beautiful. She look just like you." And the mother response is, "Oh, she looks good," And that stuff sits in people. I know it was sitting in me. If my mother ever said something like that, like, am I not capable of looking as beautiful as you? Because I think you're the most beautiful woman in the world. Why can't I be that beautiful?
Right. And like I think that's your first relationship with a woman,
Mm-hmm.
that teaches you how to have relationships with other women. So,
Right.
like, I mean, and I don't think, and just being a mother and having a mother and knowing that my mom was operating from a place that she maybe wasn't, and like I said, like, we didn't have that kind of relationship. But there are some things I wish that she would have done with me. But I know that she probably wasn't even in the capacity to do it. So I
Mm-hmm.
think, like, we can want people to heal before they have kids, but that is just on some level, it's not even realistic. And I think those are the relationships that are born out of the instability from the mother, teaching these bad behaviors. So I think, my next question is kind of like, how do we fix that? So I guess it would be from that level, from the top down. Y'all think?
Well, as in my case, what I do with my kids, especially my daughter, I try to um, just affirm her a lot and build up her self confidence and help her to just know herself so that when she does come across those situations, because she's only 10 and we've had situations with friends where they're mad at her because she wants to hang out with another friend and they're treating her bad. And I'm like, hey, you don't have to take that abuse from her. If she's having an issue with you having other friends, that's her issue. And she needs to figure out why she can't be by herself while you are over here with your other friend. So
Mm-hmm.
you just have to make sure that you are instilling that into your kids, because people who aren't getting that type of training or learning that will try to do that to your kids.
Again, it goes back to childhood. We got to teach our daughters how to recognize toxic friendships at a young age.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a norm. Because I know as an adult woman, I could be in a relationship, a friendship, and sit in it and not realize it's toxic because it's comfortable for me. I trust this person, I'm giving this person chances, and I'm excusing behaviors because I don't want to lose this person. And you just gotta teach them red flags, what doesn't feel good, acknowledge that it doesn't feel good, and then change the way you deal with that person. And everybody isn't your friend. Everybody has a place in your life, and everybody's not meant to be in the forefront, front and center of your life. You got to put some people in the back and say, hey, girl, hey. And we need to teach that to our daughters. Not like what you tell her, like, that's her problem if she can't be without you. You enjoy your friends, and then when you're ready to go hang with her, you go hang with her.
Yeah, and I completely agree with
You're
that.
mute.
That line of thinking. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
I'm sorry. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel
Right.
bad.
Yes.
Go ahead, Fallon.
I was gonna say I completely agree with that. And especially just knowing the red flags of how someone is making you feel, or knowing that this relationship isn't healthy, or if you feel yourself in situations where that friend or that person that you're around is like giving you some type of competitive energy. Like, friendship should be about iron sharpening iron, not competition and trying to one up people. And it's very easy to get those vibes from people, especially when you operate with them and see how they react to your wins, or friends who weren't clapping for you and all these things. Those are the people that you don't necessarily need to be throwing that friend word around with. And just making people comfortable walking away and outgrowing situations that don't serve them is just very important. So what you're saying to your daughter is like, forget them helpers. You don't need them. Like, you ain't gotta run with these people or whatever. Like, that's good. I don't think we start learning that as women until we get older and kind of step more into ourselves and get a little bit more confidence. Because for me, it was probably like late 20s, early 30s, where it's like, okay, I'm reevaluating these friendships and seeing how these people are really making me feel, and are these people really in my life as leeches, or just to benefit them, or just to get things that you have going. Like, you have people, like you say, moths are attracted to light. You just have to have that discernment in knowing who the people who are supposed to be there versus the people who are just trying to hang on to your coattails or just be in your life just because they're trying to get whatever they see in you that they're missing in themselves.
Okay, drop a whole word. The truth. The truth.
Right.
Absolutely. Miss Paula, are you able to speak? I'm just checking in with her because I see her coming in and out. So, but yeah, one thing that I try to acknowledge Michaela because she's very different and she has a tendency to become codependent, and I'm like, no, because you need to be able to find your source here. Because like when people get ready to leave, her little friends leave, she'll be like, oh my God, she's leaving. And I'm like, girl, that is fine. Like, you're okay by yourself. And like, I don't try to make her feel bad about it because some people do be getting codependent, as we know. So it's like, I just want to teach her, though, that like, that's not healthy. And it sets you up for devastation every time somebody does leave your life. And it's like, when you don't know how to respond to yourself, to whatever is in you inherently, that's when you start attacking others and taking it out on your friends and being like, yeah, that talking about people behind their back, like that's not necessary. Like it's a you thing that must be dealt with. So
And I think that's the thing. And honestly, I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm just learning these past few years that all that stuff that I was projecting into those friendships, it was me. You know what I'm saying? And I had no idea it was me. I had no idea when a woman walked in the room and I looked at her up and down and was seeing what she was wearing, what her feet looked like, and what her outfit looked like. It was something, and I'm questioning myself, but do I look as good as her with what she's wearing? I can't, you know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to put them, to face myself in the mirror to say, damn girl, like this is you. So now when I look at women and I compliment, I appreciate, I uplift. I don't have it in me because I'm whole now. I'm better. And you know what I'm saying? There's no competition. I don't want to be like you. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with me. But it took me a long time to actually identify what I was doing because I didn't know any better. I had just went aimlessly all through my life thinking that was how I was supposed to behave. When a black woman walks in the room, if you don't speak to me, I ain't speaking to you. Stuff like that. And those are things that I feel like I picked up along the way from people in my life. And so with my granddaughter, I'm definitely like your daughter is, you say it's I see codependency in Taylor as well. Like when we're leaving, she's crying. And I did make a mistake. I was like, girl, you sitting here crying for them. They ain't crying for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I hate I said it, but it just irritated me. Like, girl, we'll see them another time. Like, you done been over here for 2 hours. I'm tired. Let's go. You know. But I guess it's a part of them growing and developing, and I'm just gonna have to shepherd that emotion that she has along because she starts school next year. So hopefully, Jesus.
I think this is just a good opportunity for myself and for you guys to encourage her to be her own best friend, because when you know
Mhm.
that, you don't go looking for that in somebody else. Like,
Mhm.
if I had known that, oh my goodness, my life would be so much different, because I was always devastated when somebody would talk about me behind my back, or somebody would hurt my feelings,
Yeah.
or I would find out that somebody didn't really like me like I thought they did. And I would be like, nobody likes me. But I did not like me because I hadn't
Mhm.
spent any time getting to know myself. I hadn't spent any time becoming a friend to me. And
Mhm.
I think it's really excellent the way that you acknowledge that you recognize that, part of the issue was you,
Right.
because there's so many people who never get to that point when they're like, man, you know what? Maybe I'm having all these issues in these relationships because I'm that nigga. It's me. I'm the problem. And
Right.
I mean, it's just like somebody in the comments said, self-awareness. That's really it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no shame in having to admit that you need to heal something or that you need to work through something. Like, there are no people living who have zero things to work through. And
Right.
every day we're
Right.
all still working. Every day we're here on earth, we'll still continue to be growing. And it's when people haven't done the self check that they are really harsh when they find it in you. Because most people, and I know Fallon is really good at this, if she sees something in somebody, she'll just back up. Like she
Mhm.
doesn't go launching
It's a
into a,
witness.
oh, I can't stand it when,
Mhm.
because she knows, okay, well, that's just something that somebody needs to work on, you know?
It
But
just is a
Mhm.
waste of energy. Whenever
it
you
really
feel
is.
that draw or that disdain, I don't take it upon myself to just dig deeper. That's not my job. That's not my
Such
journey.
a
That's not
mystery.
my purpose. I just know how to let it, like, every relationship and interaction is not meant for permanency in our lives. And when you are able to accept that, you
Right.
can flow so freely. Just know that all people aren't going to be for you. Know that all situations, just know that all relationships, like all of these things. And it took some work. Like, it took a lot of work. And I'm very grateful for like my early 30s, because that probably is the most transformation that I had to see, as far as like feeling like I needed to be around people all the time, or feeling attached, or feeling like I couldn't operate in
Mm.
my own space without feeling like, oh, I got to do this because they're doing it. And once I got that own awareness that I was just straight how I was, it's been so easy to navigate without feeling like I got to do what they're doing. Like, that mentality that what you're doing is enough in that moment is like so freeing. And I think that right there will get rid of all the competition, because you ain't in competition with nobody but yourself. Nobody can outdo you. Nobody is going to live your life better than you. None of those things.
Is that Pepper?
You can hear him scratching. It's not even a little bit. That's
I'm
what
trying to
it's
mute everybody like I'm like,
Pepper.
that's,
You know, he gotta always make himself known.
I prayed for our kids to do right, but Pepper does whatever he wants to do. So how much of what we see and deal with, you think, comes from the media? Because Iyanla was talking about people getting paid to be off the mark. I guess she was talking about some of those shows that kind of have like drama and you know,
Listen,
the worst portrayal.
a lot, because I was a avid fan of Atlanta Housewives, and not this season, but last season, after I saw, because I guess they had the Zoom because it was COVID going on, and they had their reunion on Zoom, and I started seeing the comments about people was giving them points about the best comebacks they could do to tear the other person down. When I tell you my energy, I was tired as if I came out of a fist fight after watching that. I said I would never watch this again, because it was so heartbreaking for them to be saying those. These are supposed to be friends. Now, granted, friends supposed to have challenges in their relationship, but you supposed to work towards resolution, working things out. And I know it's a job for them, but what they portray on TV is disgusting to me. And it was just heartbreaking just to watch those beautiful Black women sit on that stage and just rip each other's lives apart, talking about somebody's boobs hanging, somebody don't have edges, somebody can't keep their man. I mean, it was just disgusting. You wouldn't like them things said about you. You know what I'm saying? It was just disgusting. And I can't, honestly, I'm just like, girl. And I was feeding that stuff into my spirit. I was feeding myself that. And I don't know if I acted that way. I probably did unconsciously, because I watched it for all seasons. I was finding myself identifying with some of the stuff too. Like, oh, is that me? Is that what I do? Like, it was crazy. I don't know. I just think media plays a whole lot, and it's very unfortunate that we're so fame and money hungry that we're willing to do that to ourselves just to be famous. Tear down another woman just to be famous. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah. See, me, I never really watched the reality TV, but I feel
Mhm.
like the younger generations who have like the TikToks and the Instagrams and all of these shows and just all of these comparisons always constantly in their face, I feel like that just has created a feeling of lesser than, or that they have to be this
Mhm.
way I really don't remember, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, in high school, I don't remember us having no women on TV or anything that we were trying to be like, or any people that were just like, oh my God, I need to look like this or do anything like this or dress like that. I feel like we maybe were a luckier generation because we didn't have all of those images just into us all the time. So I don't remember nobody being like, oh, I'm Janisha, I'm trying to be her and be better than you. Like,
We
it just wasn't that same.
we had women in history. We had women in history who we wanted to emulate and be great.
But they were like cool though. Yeah, like the
Yeah,
French.
kind of like Michelle Obama type women.
You had the
Right.
crew, the girls getting along. It wasn't too much. I only show I can remember they had like beef all the time was maybe Moesha. She always had somebody that didn't like her. But other than that, I mean, the stuff that we were watching, everybody was cool. It was like girls, cliques, like everybody is just like ganging up. Like it was just all love. And I think that we were lucky to see those types of images, even in like Different World and things like that. But all this housewife stuff is really making people feel like they just need to be out here talking about period and all these other whatever euphemisms that they use.
Yeah.
I even had a go ahead, Michelle, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I had a situation. She wanted to give examples. I'm gonna keep names out, but I had this situation where it was a group of us who we hung out together, and one of the young ladies got upset with me. Now I didn't know she was upset with me. I kept speaking and talking, just doing my thing, because one thing about me is, unless you tell me there's a problem, I'm still good. You know what I'm saying? That's you carrying around that load. So anyway, long story short, it came, they finally, one of the girls put me to the side and was like, you know, I think we all need to get together and talk about this and fix this because this energy is affecting the group. And I'm like, well, what energy? Well, who? I ain't did nothing. I ain't said nothing to nobody. Well, such and such does have a problem, so we should. Bitch, this is not Atlanta Housewives. We is not getting together and fixing anything. If someone has a problem with me, then they need to be a woman enough to come to me and talk to me about it. And so I do know in that moment, I just felt like that person was just emulating these things that we see on TV. We don't need no kumbaya of the gang of our friends to get together to figure out the issues between two people. That's what two grown women should do. You know what I mean? It was just crazy to me.
I thought you were going to say something, KaTia.
I'm just saying, child, I put 2 toes down on the floor, girl. I was like, this is not Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not meeting and congregating with nobody. Because for me, when people do stuff like that, I feel like y'all want to jump me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It don't even feel right.
Yeah, I was going to say it feels like low key, like not that's messy, but like why? Because you and I, like, let's say we all a girl gang, okay, or a group of friends, and let's say me and KaTia get into it. So that's between me and KaTia, but me and Fallon still can be cool. Me and you still can be cool. It can be, hey, I know y'all got something y'all going through, but y'all will work that out. Do you want to go eat though? Because we still going to eat. You know, like,
and we ain't gonna talk about KaTia.
And we're not gonna talk about her.
That's what I was gonna say, because that be the problem. The person, the people who be having the issues, they be want to go from person to person and talk to the people, and really, you just need to talk to the person. I'm the type of person is that if you have a problem with me, then please tell me, and don't be talking about me in your little group text messages. Because if you're not comfortable enough saying it to me, then don't say it to them. Because if it gets back to me, then I'm gonna be looking at you like, but you had the opportunity to say it. Because I'm gonna tell you. Once I say it once, I don't mind repeating.
And that's gonna make me look at like I can't trust you. Yeah. You never. I may not ever be able to trust you again.
And honestly, that may be some of the issues that we have with women because of our own experiences that we've had with friendships. Like, think of the start of me and your friendship, Michelle. We have both been recently through some stuff with our friends, so we both was kind of like,
right.
What you here for? What you here for? You trying to be my friend? You trying to be my friend, or you trying to play me?
I mean, it's like it's hard to trust people after you're just like, oh, I don't even want to have no friends no more. Like, I don't even,
it's so
I'll
draining.
just be by myself.
It's so much
like,
work. I'll
I
be
mean,
by
it's
myself.
almost like being jaded from a romantic relationship.
Yep.
Right.
You know, like,
Because I treat
okay,
my friends like my sisters. So if I get betrayed by a friend, then it like really hurts me deep. Like,
Mhm.
girl, I would have gave you my last dollar and you trying to play me? Like, I'm your friend. If I'm your friend, I'm your friend. Like,
Right.
so if I get betrayal, then it's hard for me to trust again.
I'm glad
right.
you said that, KaTia, because you know, when I separate from friends, I always go into hiding. I'm scared to talk about it. I'm scared to express emotion because I don't want to come off as being weak. But this last time, I actually said, I'm hurt. I'm devastated and I need time to heal. I actually went through, I'm still healing. And I actually went through the phases of death. I actually mourned, I'm still in mourning, mourned that friendship because that was the only way I was going to have peace on the other side of that friendship and be able to cultivate friendships with other people because I would have been stuck. And, you know, because for years before that, I just never expressed, I would get angry and stay in that angry state. You know what I mean? And take it out on everybody. You know, with bitches ain't shit. Ain't nobody know, they know fake friends. Ain't nobody know friend. You know what I'm saying? Just that mantra or whatever. But no, I mean, I'm just over it, you know, and I trust people until I don't. And I don't get mad if it doesn't work out because I already know where you are in my life. So if you're over here, because if you're not sitting front and center, I already know what I'm dealing with. So I'm pretty much not telling you my business. I'm not sharing stuff with you. So if it don't work out, I love you, boo. Bye. You know, and I just move on. But it does hurt when you lose someone. They're honestly, they're kind of closer to us than our romantic relationship and stuff. They're different, but they're just as close.
Well, that's the thing is like it's still a relationship. You know, all your
Mhm.
relationships have some of that same stuff. Like, hell, it's hard for me to leave a job because I'll be like, oh man, you know, like because that's kind of an end of a relationship. So, like, when you lose a friend, it is devastating on some
It
level.
is.
Like, damn,
Especially a friend you've been telling your secrets and y'all done some stuff, and you just like, girl, we ran
right?
out on that ticket at Denny's. Use my So yeah, it
Exactly,
definitely is.
So why
exactly.
do
I
you
mean,
think we find it difficult to work on our relationships with our friends, but we're willing to work on our relationships with our men? Because I just came across something recently where I think I put it on my Facebook page. I said if I'm in a relationship, a friendship, and something, we're going to therapy. We're going to try to figure this out and work this out. And we can't work it out in therapy, then we can make a decision to go our separate ways. But I feel like now I want to work just as hard on that friendship that I do to keep that man. You know what I
I
mean?
saw you say that. I saw you say that. My answer, short answer, dick. That's it.
I was just finna say because we be doing it with the men and not with the friends.
Really?
Some friends be doing it with their
The
friends, but
same answer
uh,
too.
it's the men. It's
I
because
mean, ultimately, it seems like they have those extra perks, but when it comes down to it, your friend, that relationship may not be forever. Once that death do us part or whatever situation should get on, sometimes you're gonna need your friends longer. So I think we probably should try to cultivate friendships, especially if they have the potential to be the lifelong, because you never know who ain't gonna be there. So I think maybe we should look at like not that you can equate brunch with like dick or whatever, but find something that's comparable that your friends can give you as a benefit that's gonna make you feel compelled to work on those friendships also.
Right. And I think typically for me, I'm closer to my friends than I usually do with be in my relationships. And they be like, oh, you be with your girlfriends, you be hanging out with them. Okay, but that's because I can be myself and talk to them. And if I want to complain about you, then that's where
And
I
I know
do it
what
at.
to do.
That's where I do it at. So yeah.
I I guess because once you marry, like your husband, your spouse is your best friend. So it has definitely been easier for me to be like, I don't need no friends. I got a man. But you definitely still need those friends and you need those friendships because he's not a woman. So it's a lot of stuff he's just not gonna understand.
Right. So, what are you guys doing in your circles to cultivate better community and relationships among women or with the women you know? Fallon, I already know you got it on lock, girl.
What does Fallon do?
She
But
is
how does
the
it work?
queen of a tribe called Manifest, and it is like a ladies' healing manifestation circle type of situation vibe, and it is lovely.
I want to be a part of it. I want to manifest.
Come through. You can definitely get down with the tribe. But I think just even in like my close friendships, we all have just a good understanding of each other. We respect boundaries and we all just genuinely want each other to win. And that makes such a difference. And then for me, just wanting people to have spaces where they can feel good about talking about their future and like the things that they want. I think that's so dope. And oftentimes Black women don't really get the chance to just sit around and brag about the luxurious lifestyles that we deserve. So that's why I'm like, about a tribe where we can big up each other and talk and speak life into each other and just really manifest some dope things, because who else is gonna do it with us if we ain't doing it for ourselves?
Right.
See, and I feel like that's a thing too. Like normalize luxury not coming with that stuff that comes with what they show on TV when you're rich. Because you don't have to be that kind of person just to have money, you know.
Okay, as far as what I'm doing with my friends and really with a lot of women, I just try to, encourage them, help them realize that they are a bad bitch. Michelle, I think I tell you probably every day, like, girl, you a
Absolutely.
bad bitch. Like, and you have to realize that and you have to own it and just love on yourself and take care of yourself because if you don't, nobody else will. From your spouse to your kids to your friends to anybody. So I just preach a lot of self love and take care of yourself and go for the stuff that makes you happy.
Yeah.
I be missing your messages when you used to tell me that I was a bad bitch all the time too. So
I got you, friend. I'm
anytime
gonna start
you
telling
feel,
you again
yeah,
because you
feel
a
like
bad
it
bitch
was
too.
wrong, then no pressure.
I got you. I'm gonna start sending out bad bitchagrams.
You need to. You need to.
Right.
Don't make
Well,
me be like, so you need to create a newsletter and blah, 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 blah.
It's called bad bitchagrams.
Yes.
I like that.
I don't
I
even
just
I
made
uncopy
mean,
it for somebody to
there's
take
a
this idea.
right.
I mean, you need to do it. Like there's probably a woman every in every group. Shoot, probably all of us could use a daily reminder, you're a bad bitch.
Mm.
Even if it's just that. Like you said, like when you wake up in the morning, hey, just like you said that one time you were like, I'm gonna text you and be like, don't forget your affirmations. Like just those little that's okay.
Reminders.
I'm not gonna keep going into creative mode, but
I get
yes.
it.
Um so I think for me, just having good friends like you guys, surrounding myself with people who are encouraging and who also are on the same wave as me. Um and not feeling bad about moving away from people who are not, you know. Um sometimes you can't express all the things that need to be said, like, hey, I think maybe you need to uh check in with yourself because you might need an adjustment. Sometimes you just have to leave, you know. So I'm allowing myself to do that because I think that's part of it too, is like taking care of myself and putting myself first in some spaces, because I don't think that's often encouraged for us to do.
And we're also like we're encouraged to hold on to people who mistreat us, like our
Mhm.
friends, and they be like, "Oh, that's your cousin. Don't do them like." Don't nobody care if that's my cousin if they're treating me bad. They're not making me feel good.
Right.
Nobody care. So yeah, that's definitely important. I'm very proud of you in that aspect because People will try to selfish fire right on back in. And be like, you know what? I ain't abused her in a while. Let me go see what she doing so I can go pick on her and make her feel bad.
You guys, I wanted so many friends in my life that I used to just allow people to abuse me over and over and over again.
Oh my God, that's me.
That's everybody.
Yeah. I mean, it was like excessive people pleasing. And somebody on Instagram just now, because I had made this meme earlier that said self-preservation is sexy. And somebody was like, well, can't that be misconstrued as selfishness? And I'm like, I mean, it can be, but you would have to consider self-care as self-preservation being something that is sexy in order for you to get with this. Because the thing is that I'm not going to keep feeding into that, oh, looking out for yourself is selfish and you're not caring about other people. Like, who's going to give a fuck about me if I don't give a fuck about me?
Tell them to get their sunshades and
Selfish
just keep trying it anyway.
I mean,
selfish and self-care.
I mean, I'm not talking about doing something that's going to harm you. I'm talking about
Right.
caring
I
for
just want to
myself.
love me.
I mean,
Why does that bother you?
I'm trying to figure it out, but I feel like that's a thing, and Black women are not encouraged to be operating in that way. And I'm like, no, man. Like,
That's
the
because
number
we're
one,
strong Black women.
I'm
We're
so
taught that
strong.
we have to be strong and break your back and bend over backwards and do all this stuff.
The
Strong and hollow.
mule. The mule.
Correct.
Yeah. Strong.
Well, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna take a nap and get my nails done and resting and going on vacation with my friends because I ain't trying to do all that other shit.
No. And like, I think about my grandma and how, like, I mean, she probably wasn't tripping, but like, you could tell that she didn't really put no effort, and I don't know if it was because, she just was country or whatever the deal was, but I think if she had, like, she would have felt better. I mean, I'm for real. My grandma was a really, like, she would slap the shit out of you. But grandma wore like socks and slippers, like not like slippers, but like black dress shoes and whatever she felt like wearing. But I always felt like if she had looked like she gave a fuck, maybe she would have felt better too, because I think that helps. Like, just being the type of person that went from not really caring about myself to caring a lot about myself, and I can see the difference in how I feel and how I treat others. I'm like, if we could normalize that and allow.
But just thinking about the times and where she came from, though, like, there was no way to feel good. Like, I mean, it sucks to say it like that, but
it took a lot.
She wasn't thinking about putting on no rouge.
Well, my other grandma, but they did come from two different types of backgrounds. One of them was cleaning houses for white women, ironing their clothes and shit. The other one was like, I'm a bad bitch. So
that's how my grandmothers were. That is so funny.
She was ironing clothes, but still.
My grandmother still to this day with her old self still be walking around like she a bad bitch with a bunch of rings on and her furs and everything. That's exactly her life.
Right.
So I'm happy you're right.
I mean, and this, like I said, like, yeah, but she was always working. And then my grandpa probably didn't do anything to like support at home. So like when she came home from doing that, then she was doing her house, and she probably was severely depressed, just to be completely honest. So when you are in that place, like, you don't give a damn about trying to look cute. You're like, I'm just glad I didn't kill myself today.
Or anybody else.
Because I know she probably came mighty close. I almost probably didn't get here.
Or they already know the man they with ain't shit. No matter if they get dressed or not, he still ain't shit. So why bother?
Exactly. And don't have time to cheat because you got to go to work for 3 different people and also take care of your house. So yeah, I think a lot of it is just like, like adjusting how we treat ourselves, how we allow other people to treat us, and just standing up for ourselves and being like, this is not cool. I'm not tolerating this. I think that would help a lot.
I agree
too. And to piggyback off what you said, Michelle, and for me, I'm older than all of you all, but I think I'm late in the how to be a good friend journey. So for me, just cultivating just positive, good relationships with women has been my thing. I'm very complimentary and I mean it. If I even right now, if I'm on social media and I see a woman and make me go, oh, I'll be saying to myself, okay, girl, who hurt you? Like I try to look at myself before I start. Maybe she's confident in whatever she is wearing, and it's maybe not for me, but it's for her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to change my way of thinking and how I view women and look at women. I don't talk about people. I don't share personal. I'm just told I did a totally 1,000 with my life when it comes to my relationships with women. And I'm just about uplifting people and just being positive and just, I don't want to argue with nobody. I'm 51 and I will say it was just probably last year I was hollering around here, nuck if you buck, and I'm 50. Okay, I don't need to be doing that. Okay. I don't want to fight nobody. I know, but I will, but I don't want to.
Can we take a moment to appreciate the black that don't crack? Because you talking about 51. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Thank
look
you.
amazing. I might need you to talk me off of any ledge in the next 14 years because when I hit 50, I'm gonna be like, and that bitch said no. No, I really don't. I don't like to fight or get frustrated, but if it happens, I mean,
Hey,
I just be I'll be trying to keep my composure because if I do, it's probably excessive, and I'm still working on me. I'm still working on me.
And another thing too, I forgive sometimes I make mistakes and I forgive myself. I didn't come all this way. I'm 51, so it took a long time to develop a lot of bad habits. So sometimes I do backslide and I make mistakes and I have to forgive myself. And I'm very transparent. If I said something about you, I may come to you and apologize. You may not know why, but just know I done said something about you in my head. You know what I'm saying? But I forgive myself. You know what I'm saying? And I know that, it's not me, it's not who I am, but it happens. I'm human or whatever. And I don't know, I have a great group of ladies around me now. I feel very confident in my friendship with them, and I'm meeting other people and I'm opening myself up to friendship. I'm not, like KaTia said, like, what's your angle, girl? Why you want to be my friend? Like, what you up to? What's going on? I'm not doing the side eye women. I'm just living, y'all. I'm just living. I just want all of us to be good and support and look out for each other, support people, and I'm just trying to live my life right.
It's the way you said that you were just trying to live your life right for me because that's so real. And I love the way that we all wore either black or white because respect duality. respect the fact that I'll flip over on you real quick, but I'm gonna be back right. So is there anything that you guys want to add or say on the topic or just anything about yourself and your brand before we go? I don't know what happened to Miss Paula. I feel moderately devastated that she never was able to say anything.
She kept popping in.
She was like, I'm here though.
She showed up.
Yeah.
It was Comcast or Xfinity who did not. I feel like as women, we definitely have to stick together and we have to do our part because we already have a lot of outside stuff, not just going towards us women, but just as us as a race. So that's one of the main reasons why I try to make it, like a sisterhood. Like I don't want to have no beef with nobody. I really don't. But if there's beef, I'm joking, guys. I'm really peaceful.
Right.
I've grown. Yeah. I don't know. I just want us to all get along and we can have like girls club parties and jump rope and jacks and drink and dance and do fun stuff. That sounds like that's what I want to do. The stuff we used to do as little kids, but as grown-ups, because grown-up stuff is more fun.
So
I
you
would
don't
love to
send
jump
the
double
invites.
dutch. I want to jump double dutch. I haven't jumped double dutch in
I do too. I want to play
years.
jacks.
Yeah.
I got me some skates.
I'm gonna get
So
some
you'll send out
skates.
the invites. You'll send the invites out whenever they're ready.
I will. I'm gonna send the
Okay.
invites. I'm gonna
That
put
is
that on
so
my
That's
list.
that's we
Babies
need
and
to do
grams,
that.
invites for the girls club. Got you.
Mm.
yeah.
I don't be like, okay, so
It's been 2 weeks.
no, I would never. I would never. What about you, Fallon? Anything?
I would say that life is too short to waste time hating on anybody. And if you over the age of like 14, you too old to be hating anyway. Because at that point, you got the means and the ways to get what you do in your life and to decide what you can and cannot have, and know that ain't nobody just gonna be you better than you. And as I go through my Rolodex, just really think like, damn, is there anybody that I really or things like that? And it's like, no, I mean, I can hate a situation that's happened or been mad about somebody doing me wrong, but ultimately, I ain't never met no bitch I wanted to be. So I just am grateful for that, and am grateful that I did the self work to know that who I am is enough, and that I don't gotta put in no effort to make anyone like me, or try to be like anybody else at this point in my life. And I can walk right on up into 40 or 50 or whenever and say I'm Gucci. It's all good. But yeah, if you wanna do a little plug though, A Tribe Called Manifest, you can follow us on Instagram at A Tribe Called _ Manifest, or you can follow me on Instagram at Notorious _ Foul. And I be all about the sisterhood and being nice. You'll never catch me hating on nobody. Even the people that I don't vibe with. I mean, I ain't got no hate for them. And no, Ayala, we do not hate each other. So whoever made her feel that way, I wish she, reconsider it and see if we was getting a paycheck to dislike each other or something. And, the narrative. And that's all I got.
Okay, then
KaTia,
she muted us after that. She dropped the mic.
that's it.
Well, for me, I do want to continue to encourage us as women and young women with daughters to teach them how to be a friend, teach them what friendship is. And I think that's so important because nobody ever showed me or taught me anything. I'm just sitting and looking and thinking, my auntie's over there gossiping. I guess that's how women's supposed to do, is sit around and gossip. So I just definitely think we need to teach, like we want to teach our sons certain things, we teach our daughters certain things other than how to get a man and how to be a doormat for a man. Teach them how to be a good friend, how to love themselves. And when you are projecting, when you're looking at another woman or another young girl and have something negative to say, you're projecting. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to encourage that because it starts at a young age with self-love, self-reflection, and and I like what Fallon said too. Everything she said, just plug it over here too, except for her deeds. T with Monroe the podcast at T with Monroe _ podcast on Instagram, of T with Monroe on Facebook and Twitter as well. I have this wonderful podcast. It's a relationship podcast where my husband and I are extremely transparent about our lives. We have an opinion about everything, but we make sure we bring it home to what we know and love and cherish in our experiences. So we're not out here judging people's stuff. We do, but we don't. It's in a good way. It's in a good way. So check us out on Mondays on our social media or platforms for podcasting. And yeah, be a good fucking human.
I love that last part. Oh, I didn't plug my stuff. Good Drinks on GOUD Drinks on Instagram and Facebook. I'm a mobile bartender and I have alcoholic drink, non-alcoholic drinks. I have some juices coming out soon, some cold pressed juices. So yeah, be looking for that.
Absolutely. All right. Well, my note is to be your own best friend, be kind to yourself, and then you will be kind to others.
Mhm.
Accept yourself and your shadow, because that is how you end up off balance by not doing that work. And you can find me at Creative AF Consulting or at Between Us Girls podcast. If you want to listen to podcasts, this one I will run on the feed. And yeah, so if you're interested in any magic, manifestation, or astrology, you can find me at Creative AF Consulting. And once again, I must feel some type of way about Miss Paula, but I will be back with her, I'm
We
sure.
need a redo.
I mean, well, we got to redo it, because I mean, I would love to just be able to talk to you guys about various topics. I mean, this is just like the kickoff, so you all are more than welcome to come back with me the next time. I'm not even going to try to lie and say I have a schedule, because I don't.
Next
Um,
time I can have y'all some drinks.
yes,
Hey,
look,
I love
next
to
time maybe we
drink.
can get together in social distance somewhere.
That
You
can
know
be a
what I'm
plan.
saying? And we could all taste the drinks, etc., and so on and so forth. So this is just the beginning, etc., etc. Oh, Mika is plugging everything that you got down there. She said Tea with Monroe, just Tiffany, relationships and sipping. Tea with Monroe, take two, tip talk with Tiffany, all the things.
That's my girl.
I was
Go,
gonna say, now
Mika.
that's a friend right there. That's a friend
That's a
right there.
friend.
That's a friend. Okay, well, once again, if you guys don't have any last words, we will close it out. I'm so proud of us. It is only 1 minute and 46 seconds over 1 hour. All right. Thank you for watching. And we will see y'all next time.
All right. Night, night. Nice meeting you, ladies.
Bye.
Absolutely.